If you had a promiscuous past, a lot of men are going to look at that and say, I'm not going to take the risk. And let me ask you this question.
What risk is that?
Losing half your shit in 20 years.
Like so you're correlating past promiscuity with gold digging.
No.
That's not what taking half of the shit is.
They've actually done, there's been multiple studies on this. The more premarital sexual partners that you've had, the higher likelihood of divorce, the higher likelihood of infidelity, and the greater likelihood of reporting relationship and marriage dissatisfaction.
From just the woman's side or from a man's side too?
From both, but it's more pronounced in women.
If men can get horny, why can't women? Nonsense, I'll explain this one. I talk about a relationship between men and women that has been studied a lot. Most of the time, researchers have focused on how promiscuity hurts women. The younger a woman is when she loses her virginity, and the more sexual partners she has, the worse she is as a wife and a mother. They are terrible choices for marriages. Unfortunately, a woman who was a virgin until she was 20 and only had one partner is a better choice than a woman who has had 100 partners and lost her virginity at 14 or 15, or whatever age this one was, when she started fooling around with guys and racking up a notch count. That's just the way life is. It doesn't affect men the same way it does women. I know that a lot of you have been told that men and women are equal, and that what men can do, women can do, and what women can do, men can do. But there are big differences between the sexes, and there aren't many women who can do what men can do. Even though she says she wants a guy with a lot of experience and doesn't mind it, not many women would turn down a guy who's been with a lot of women. They just don't seem to care. One difference between men and women is that women seem to care a lot about a man's future, like his ability to provide, protect, be a father, and be a husband. Be competent, you know, like all those things they want you to do. Men are actually very interested in a woman's past. They don't really care about her degree frame to mahogany on the wall or her travels around the world. In fact, when men hear things like, I spent my 20s traveling around the world, backpacking, working on cruise ships, and you know all this sort of stuff, they start doing things that aren't good for the relationship. When a woman says she lost her virginity at 13 or something crazy like that, men think, wow, I was like 20 when that happened to me. Why did she do that? How many guys was she with? What other consequences are coming out of that? This is why men are disgusted and don't like a woman's past. But women will never understand that difference because they don't seem to care. Girls losing their virginity at a younger age, being promiscuous in homes where there is only one parent, and women getting about 80% of custody orders. So for the most part, that seems to be mostly single moms today. So what are you going to do about this? Well, if you're a girl who has been promiscuous, I wouldn't go bragging about it or being proud of it like that. They usually don't count shorter times. One night stands, what happened in Vegas that week stays in Vegas. The foam cannon party in Ibiza at 4 a.m. or something like that on the beach. They don't, compute those numbers. Lesbian encounters with 3 women, BJs in a bathroom, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a big difference between how men and women act in that way. Some would say it's unfortunate, while others would say it's a reality. All I do is point out the facts, so don't get mad at me when I tell you how things really are, how guys think, and the mistakes that men and women make. High-value men. The successful guys that women usually want are tall, wealthy, charming, and influential. Men want to be him, and women want to be with him. Those guys that they want to be with are usually spoiled for choice, which means that most women, like 80% of women, swipe right on guys on dating apps. So if that's the case, it's not surprising that most women don't want to be with successful men. I mean, if women were given advice that would really change their lives in the long run when it came to their relationships with men and their long-term plans to be a wife or a mother, I think that would be a good thing. For example, they should know that men have a very different story to tell. Men need to realize that they have to do something with their lives because they are success objects. They need to become influential, learn how to make money, and gather resources. Women, on the other hand, need to keep their value. A woman who has kept her value hasn't been with 100 or more men. That's just the way the world is. It's not misogyny, it's just how society works. In conclusion, the differences between men and women in terms of their attitudes and behaviors towards sex are quite apparent. Men tend to be more promiscuous, while women are more concerned with a man's future potential. Women should be aware of their value and avoid being promiscuous, while men should focus on becoming successful and influential. Both sexes should be aware of the consequences of their choices, as they can have a major impact on their relationships and long-term plans.